guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today is part 2 of my Psychic Development series, episode 10. Wow, I can't believe I've made 10 episodes of these. They're so much fun though. And we were using Floppy Horse last time, so kind of diving into feeling the energy of a stuffed animal. Of course, there's energy that I think that can emanate for a lot of different things, but I thought, it'd be kind of fun to use a stuffed animal because then you can try to do this, in the comfort of your own home as well. I'm sure there's stuffed animals in your home somewhere. But in the other video I had mentioned, I talked a little bit about energy and how, I believe that the things that we touch and hold dear to us, we can leave like an imprint, like a piece of us on that item, which is why, we hold on to items sometimes after people pass away or pets pass away and things like that. So I had set Floppy Horse out for like a minute or two, and people just gave their impressions about the energy wafting off of Senor Floppy Horse. Yeah, and I'm just going to be replying to those messages. That's kind of what I love to do in this series is, I'll put something out there for everybody to kind of practice their intuitive abilities, which I think is just totally natural. It's just part about being a human being. And they give comments, and then I give you guys feedback. And if there's people that give comments after I've made the video, I always make sure that I comment back, so that I can help out as many people as possible, so that we can all learn together and work together. So if you're wondering why the setup is different, is because I got a brand new computer, not a laptop, but my laptop took a dump. So I have a new iMac, and I am actually in the office slash my altar slash creativity room. Yeah, I have the camera kind of set up here on the desk so that I can face the computer so that I can answer your questions. So here we go. So again, we have Floppy Horse. This is actually my Floppy Horse, but it also belonged to our old cat Presley. It was like a gift for both of us. So Presley slept in the bed with us, and when he took naps all day long, he couldn't nap without Floppy Horse. Like, he was always like cuddling and napping with Floppy Horse. This was like his Floppy Horse. But I love Floppy too, and he goes with me everywhere. He's part of my traveling crew, so actually I have a little crew of stuffed animals that like stays in the truck and goes with me to work. But anyway, okay, Jacqueline Camacho is our first comment. She said, I hear celebration, thank goodness, thank goodness. And that's probably because I've been having a lot of breakthroughs where I have finally figured out what I'm supposed to create next, and I've been pretty excited about it. And so my mornings have been a little less rough getting up, just because I know that there's some good stuff coming. So that's probably Floppy Horse's celebration. Thank goodness, because he's tired of hearing me piss and moan about why can't I do this yet? Because there's some things I've got to do. All right, then we go to Dawn Sunpath, who says snuggling and joy. Definitely, I got, Presley and I got Floppy Horse probably about 10 years ago or more. And just like every time I look in his little face, like I'm just so happy, like I really am. And it's like, I really feel like there's a little soul in here. Maybe that sounds crazy, but I don't know. I'm really happy. And he sleeps with me in the bed along with a few other stuffed animals, but he's like my OG stuffed animal. So he's, no matter how many other stuffed animals I get, he's like my OG. So yes, snuggling and joy does make sense. Dawn Nightbloom said, thank you for sharing and many blessings to you. So definitely leave a comment next time and I can give you some feedback. And then Debbie Savatsi said, here goes the Waverly House, Old Town San Diego. Love, hugs, studying, pizza, Rod Stewart, Tonight the Night. That's the song, and those are the things that popped up into her head. Okay, so the Waverly House, Old Town San Diego, I definitely have a connection to Old Town San Diego. I mean, I know I'm San Diegan, I'm from San Diego, but I don't know, sometimes when I'm just down in Old Town, you know, you just feel like you know a place longer than you've been alive. That's kind of like Old Town for me. Definitely, if I were going to use some adjectives and maybe a verb for him, I would say love, hugs. Studying, not necessarily, I guess, like school studying, but there's a lot of reading that I do with him, like studying that I do for basically my craft and tarot and all of that stuff. So he's usually like always there. Actually, I sit him up right next to my books. So I guess, yeah, I guess he's always studying along with me. Pizza, I don't eat pizza all the time, but I'm thinking pizza is like a metaphor for, you know, feel good. And he is definitely a feel-good energy. Rod Stewart, I love Rod Stewart. I used to have a crush on him like back in the 80s. So tonight's night, yeah, makes sense. Rod Stewart. And then, yeah, so cool beans. All right, let's see. Atypical Tarot, what up? Says, I felt happy. It made me think about a service animal to help people with anxiety or depression. So I thought that was an interesting comment because the animal that was connected to this was Presley. And Presley, I would say, whenever you were feeling bad or anybody was feeling bad, he was the one that came over and was like, hey, like snap out of it, snap out of your funk. Let's play, let's do something. So we sometimes called him Nurse Presley. So that's interesting, like he could be considered like a service animal. I would say so. I'd say he helped me quite a bit. And the dude always says that if he didn't have his cats in his life, that he would be an a-hole. Okay. Colorful corner. Few words popped up. Light, old age, observant, introvert, and contented vibes. So I would definitely say, I always say, like, I feel like there's a little energy in here. Like, not just like my energy, like transferring off onto the stuffed animal, but I always felt like there was something else in here. Well, it's also got my old cat's energy on here too. And, oh, you know, my acupuncturist, who I call my Chinese mom, she's like my other mom, she always said that our old cat was not a cat. She says he's like a monk or a higher being. She would say he's light, he's much older, you know, than we think, like his soul is much older. So that's, I think, who you're describing is actually my old cat, and that makes sense because this was his favorite toy. So he never like killed this toy, you know, he had other toys that he killed, and there's something called monkey butt. He like literally ripped the butt out of the monkey. But he never did that to Floppy. Floppy was sacred, and Floppy, we have so many pictures of his like little paw around him. He's like literally cuddling with Floppy Horse. But you're describing Presley, the light, the old age, observant. That was definitely him. He wasn't an introvert though. I would say I don't know, I'm like an extroverted introvert, so that might be me as well. And then contented vibes, I would say that's both this stuffed animal, but also our old cat. So that's interesting. I like how all these energies are mixing together. So fun. And then strength from tarot. Let's see. I got a wise friend, dependable, and rest. My back started hurting, and I pictured him being supportive, especially in times of sickness or during an injury. True dat. So definitely a wise friend and dependable. Kind of has been with me through thick and thin, many a tears, many laughter, you know, much laughing and joy, and like a whole gamut of emotions, you know. Floppy needs a bath, by the way, probably because I cuddle with him so much, so every once in a while it's time to go in the tub and it's time to get a bath, actually the tub being the sink. And then rest. I know I need more sleep. I'll try to go to bed earlier tonight. I try. Back started hurting. I do have some issues with my lower back. I don't know, I just like if I walk too slowly, my lower back hurts. If I lie on my stomach, my lower back locks up. I can't, yeah, if I sit too long, my lower back hurts. Like, I don't know. It's not bendable. Like, I can't bend backwards. Like, that's as far as I can bend back. I don't know. I've always had some lower back issues, and yeah, it's getting a little more. I'm having a little more issues with that. So, and definitely support him in times of sickness and injury. Yes, whenever I've been out injured because I did something stupid at the gym or something like that, or anytime I've been sick, like, this is the stuffed animal that's always with me. Like, I'm wiping all my cooties on my poor stuffed animal. I do wash him afterwards. Okay, moving on. We got V Love and Crystals. What? I'm getting knowledge, loneliness, and friendship. So I would say when I'm like trying to think things through, and I'm stuck in a rut, or there's some things that are hard for me to like think through, that's usually unconsciously I just kind of like grab Floppy Horse, and kind of like helps me through that. So it's kind of like he's like my muse. And for loneliness, this could be two things. I think that sometimes, you know, when I am home alone, not like for the day, but like, you know, if the dude goes off for, I don't know, an entire day or a weekend, or like when he goes off to Hawaii, to go do tint over at his for his friends' properties over there. You know, he'll be gone for like a week or so. And then when he was in Alaska for like a few weeks, yeah, you know, like times I get like lonely, even though I, you know, I have friends I could call on, but like this one, I just like grab Floppy. I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna like walk around the house together. So definitely I consider him a friend, even though he's a stuffed animal. He's my stuffy friend. The Muggle Witch. I can see why you named him Floppy Horse. I get a feeling of comfy favorite old socks. True dat. It's like that kind of friend that you always look for, even though sometimes you may forget him when you have newer, shinier toys. Yes, in fact, I just got a new stuffed animal yesterday, but every time I look on the bed, you know, I have all these cuddly stuffed animals, but when you look at Floppy Horse, it's like, that's like my OG. Like, I would never forget Floppy Horse. Like, if there was a fire in the house, I mean, first of all, we're grabbing the kittens, right? And then I'm grabbing Floppy, and then I'm grabbing all other valuables. But you always need him right beside you in bedtime. Yes, he is. He's right next to my pillow. He gives me a vibe of a good listener, and I think he has listened a lot and has been cried on a lot too. Yes. A patient and wise old friend who is never judging. I do get that from him. You know, even though I think I've been very melodramatic sometimes and thrown temper tantrums sometimes, it always seems like he's just like, I'm still your friend, I'm still here. Yes, he is just being there, and his eyes look as if they're saying, you got it, girl, you know what to do. That definitely sounds like him. Like, I have the Floppy Horse voice, just like I give a voice to Wally, and I give, actually, Wally's down here, but I give a voice to Wally and to Loki, and yes, Floppy Horse has a voice, and that sounds like something he would say. He's the kind of stuffed animal you would keep until you get married and pass it on to your kids. I don't hear any songs, but he does remind me of good old country tunes. Me too, actually. I always get like an older man from like the South from him. I don't know why, but that's just what I always get from Floppy. And then we have T. Cabanil. Says, thank you for sharing. I got that stuffed animal provided comfort and peace at times of transition and grieving. Definitely. I've gone through a few deaths with Floppy Horse, and he's definitely always been there. So all the tears, yes, he's full of lots of tears as well as laughter. That period led to a peace and stability. Definitely the words peace and multitude of colors such as blue and green popped up. And that's interesting because those are usually the colors I see emanating off of myself, those blues and those greens. So it's nice for sharing a little vibration of color. Okay, moving on, we have... Oh, some shout out of love from Free Heart and Paw Necklace on my profile. Hey, hey. Let's see. Then Jennifer Blair. All right. I keep seeing a little boy sleeping with it, like he couldn't sleep without it. A brown-haired boy. That made me laugh because I was like, okay, I know who the brown-haired boy is. It's not a human being. That was a cat. That was the Siamese cat, Presley. Couldn't sleep without it. He was our little boy. We got Wally after he passed away. Wally is much lighter and creamier than Presley was. Even though he was a Siamese and they're kind of like that, supposed to be that creamy and darker color. Presley was a lot more darker, and I wish you guys could see, but Presley's actually on my wallpaper on my computer. Maybe I'll turn the computer around afterwards. But yeah, that's the brown-haired little boy that's actually a cat. Let's see, moving through here, we have a Kathy Paro. I got spinach, a confused older person with glasses, a crying baby, something soft, diffused gold like an object, and snuggly warmness that's not quite too warm. I loved all of those things. All of those things are like bits and pieces of my everyday. Like, so they all make sense to me. They probably wouldn't all make sense to other people, but they make sense to me, which gives me like the confirmation that, yeah, Kathy's got something there. Spinach is my favorite. That's like my favorite, I guess, leafy green. Spanakopita is like, or spanakopita is like my favorite, like little Greek, I guess, dinner pastry. So yes, me and spinach, yes. The confused older person with glasses, that's actually the dude's father. So I kind of see all this energy connecting. The crying baby, there's a baby across the street that every time I pull in after work, Floppy Horse is in my truck, that baby is crying almost like all day, every day. I don't know how they need to console the baby a little bit more, but that baby cries all day, every day. And actually I was like laughing not laughing at the crying baby, but like, while I was watering the yard, and I was like, I can't wait to make this video because literally that crying baby is crying right now, and the person's talking about the crying baby. Something that is soft, definitely his very soft energy. I think of the diffused gold, it says like as an object, but I see that more as him being the diffused gold. Snuggly warmness that's not quite too warm, definitely him. Even if it's super hot outside, like right now, it was over 100 degrees today, I would still cuddle with Floppy Horse. Let's see, moving on to, I think we have the last couple of people. All right, Juvity, yay! It says, I love Floppy Horse. Actually, told me that his real name was Carl. That makes sense to me because, like I said, I always get like this like older Southern male energy, like of a human being out of Floppy. So that's interesting. Maybe his name was Carl. He's your wise, loyal, and protective buddy and loves to be a reliable oracle whenever you need his advice, which is quite often. That's true. Sometimes I am mentally talking to Floppy and sometimes I talk out loud. Don't act like you guys don't talk to your stuffed animals or to your crystals. I'm not the only one here. He's happy to live each day joyfully in your presence. And that's so sweet. I mean, look at this happy face. And then our very last person is Allie. I saw a flash of a rainbow version of Floppy Horse, and that made me stop because I've gotten a couple readings from the Color Gypsy, which if you want like your like aura reading and aura healing, she's the person to go to. And on several occasions with readings, she's always always spoke about my aura being sometimes that bluish greenish color, but for the most part I'm rainbow. And she said I'm more of like a rainbow child, rainbow soul, rainbow spirit. So me being all rainbows, and I love rainbows. That's interesting that my little sidekick here would be the rainbow version of basically me. So so I thought that was interesting. All right, so that's everybody. Well, thank you guys for participating in this. And like I said, if there are people who comment later after I've made this video, I'll make sure that I respond in a typed form then. But let me know what else you would like me to practice with for, this psychic development series. Do you want me to have you guys practice with a pendulum? Do you want me to have you guys focus on a home or a place, to gather the energy? I think this is a lot of fun, and I think it's really helpful too, because you get feedback. So I give you something that I know a lot about, so that way when you give your impressions, as varied as they are, as you can see, so many different people got so many different things. Some of them are very similar, but they were all very different, and that's because we're all different people and we interpret things differently. And that doesn't make somebody more right or wrong. It's just that's how you're getting the information, and it's just a different version of the information. So keep that in mind, and I hope this helps to build your confidence so that you learn to trust your own gut, your own intuition, even more. So again, if you have some thoughts on what you want me to do next, let me know in the comment section down below. And I thank you guys so much, and I'm gonna upload this now so you guys can get your feedback. All right, so I will catch you spiritual homies later. If you dug this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading for me, head over to www.kittensfaceandtarot.com. And if you want to send a little love my way, think about joining the KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot. And I will catch you spiritual homies later. All right? Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.